Welcome back everybody, MC here with another video, and today is our very first episode of our Terraria playthrough. So I have been meaning to make one of these for a long time, and what better time to do one just before 1.4 comes out. And if it works out, I can actually do another video or another series when 1.4 actually drops. But this is the most requested playthrough I have ever had on the channel, and I just didn't know a good way to do it, and I feel like this is the best thing I can do. I'm going to edit out any of the longer and more boring parts, and you might notice that it's mostly daytime when I'm playing, or when you see it in the footage, simply because it's brighter and you guys can see what I'm doing. Anyway, this is a solo expert Terraria playthrough. It's going to be a casual playthrough, so I'm allowed to use any items that I wish. I know a lot of people recommend doing ranger playthroughs or summoner playthroughs, but we're going to do pretty much everything at our disposal. And one of the things that I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to try and show you guys some tips and tricks that I've learned over the years of playing Terraria. And if you watch out for those, you'll be able to use those tricks in your own playthroughs. Even small things like NPC prison houses, and for example, little tricks that you could do with the trees, all that kind of thing. So the first things first anyway, what I normally do when I first start playing is I normally get as much wood as you can. I think everyone starts off the exact same way unless you're doing a speed run. You get as much wood as you can from the beginning, and you start to make a small shelter for yourself. It's expert, so the shelter is going to be slightly off the ground so that enemies can't get into my house, and that if there's any lava monsters or anything, the lava won't hurt the NPCs. What I'm doing here is I'm pretty much measuring where the NPC houses should go. Now, I made a separate video about NPC prison houses that you should check out on my channel, and it'll explain how to actually make these NPC prison houses. But for now, what you're going to see is me measuring the distance required to make, say, 5 on each side or 4 on each side. The best thing about prison houses is they're quick and easy. And one thing I like about prison houses, and just in general having a shelter ready on the first day, is as soon as it hits nighttime, you can pretty much come up here and be safe while you build your house. So at least it gives you something to do on the first night. I don't want to be waiting around while it gets dark outside. I want to actually be doing something. Now I'm going to get some sunflowers set up. Sunflowers are going to reduce mob spawn, and they're going to help with just overall movement speed. And pretty much I'm just putting them on each side of the base so that each side is covered, and unless there's an event on like Blood Moon, it'll reduce the amount of enemies that spawn, and probably will reduce it to about 1 or 2, maybe 2 or 3 at nighttime. So the first biome that we actually managed to find is the snow biome, one of my favorite biomes to find straight away, and usually it's right next to your base anyway. The snow biome is very handy because overall in this playthrough, we're going to be looking for an item called a snowball cannon. Now I'm hoping that we can find it pretty quickly in this playthrough. And you can find the snowball cannon in the snowball biome, or the snow biome, and you can find it in the houses that are in the, say, cavern layer, and I think you can find it in the cave layer as well, but I could be wrong. When it comes to the pots and pans, just get as much pots as you can while you're in any of the biomes in this game, and try and keep your cursor along the ground to avoid traps. You'll probably notice that when I'm pickaxing the ground, I'm actually trying to avoid getting hit by dart traps, because with 100 health, dart trap can be very detrimental. I got very lucky here with this life crystal. You don't normally find them so quickly, and it was literally on the way down to the cavern area, so I'm pretty lucky with that one, and we get ourselves to 110 health. I don't usually use them straight away so that I can stack them just in case my inventory is full. And we found the house. That's awesome. So this house is going to have many different things. We have the chest first of all, and unfortunately we didn't get the snowball cannon. And we have a slime statue, as you can see in the bottom, and we got a keg. So we got a couple of items that are pretty good. One thing I'd recommend when you go into these houses is do a little bit of damage if the background isn't broken, to stop an NPC from just moving in there, because often you'll find an NPC will start moving in and then they'll get themselves killed because they're in a dangerous biome. So just be careful not to have a house. Another heart crystal. So we got very lucky with the heart crystals in this game, I have to say. We also have a little bit of iron to mine. So I like the basic area of the first part of the game. I don't know if you guys like it as much as I do. I like when your character is super squishy and you have to be very careful. I usually don't play hardcore playthroughs because I enjoy putting myself into dangerous situations just to see if I can get out of them, and unfortunately more often than not I usually get myself killed. But in general, it's a lot of fun to be able to play this game and not have to worry about only having one life. So get a bit of iron into my inventory, a tiny bit of minerals, and let's go and see what else we can find. I don't know if you guys use the bunny statue, the pickaxe statue, the king statue. I don't even know what that one is, gargoyle statue. But if you guys use them for anything, let me know what you use them for. I personally don't use them. And as I see, we have a couple of more pots to break. And hopefully we can find another little house down here that'll give us our snowball cannon. We've got very lucky when it comes to spawns in this one so far. Normally you don't get so lucky. I mean, all we've had so far is a couple of ice slimes. We haven't had any cave bats or anything. That's pretty useful. The ice biome can be very dangerous early on. Oh, shit. Okay, well, that's a rip. Rest in peace, my good old friend. 40 silver lost. Shit. Alright, back to the fray. I'm going to show you a little trick here, guys. This is pretty much one of the early game things that I do to make sure that I get plenty of wood. Well, first of all, clear the area by chopping down all the trees. And what I'm going to show you here is pretty much how to have trees growing at all times. And make sure you guys replant your trees as well, because it's very important to keep the amount of wood going. And, of course, the ecosystem. You have to look after the environment, after all. Just get rid of these little slimes, get some gel together. What's your favorite part of the game, guys? When let me know in the comment section below. What is your favorite part of the game? Is it the early game? Is it the mid game? Is it the hard mode? Which part of the game do you like the most? Now, I find this part the most relaxing, and there's a little bit less to do, but in general, it's fun. So I kind of like that. And one thing you're going to notice about me as we play, you probably notice a little pause there, is my inventory is always a bloody mess. So you're going to notice that I often just pause to try and find out where the hell an item is. I'm just sitting there like, huh, where the hell did that item go? So, this is the final three, and then I can show you the trick. The trick is, first of all, plant with good space in between them new trees. Very easy. Nothing special here. I mean, a lot of you guys are probably going to know this trick already. Second thing is, dig a hole directly underneath each tree, leaving the block that the tree's on intact. Just going to stick another one there. So the reason behind this trick is simple. In order for a tree to grow, it needs constant sunlight, or it needs constant light. And what you're going to do is you're going to create the light. So put one torch underneath each branch, and that torch will keep the tree growing at nighttime. And you'll find the trees are going to grow so much faster, and they'll probably grow more often than what you're expecting, because a lot of the time trees, you plant 50 seeds and you get like 4 or 5 trees out of it. So I would 100% recommend doing that near your home base in a flat area with grass. Hey, we found the sand biome as well. So the way to mine these cactuses, I watched PewDiePie do this and I was cringing a little bit, thinking to myself, how the hell does he not realize how to chop down cactuses? Take out the sand block underneath them. That's how you take out cactuses, and that's how you collect cactus. And when it comes to cactus, cactus is the best item or the best ingredient that you can use early game for early game armor. Get your defense up a little bit, get a better weapon, because I'm still using a copper short sword, and just in general, it's way better if you use cactus armor. Rip. If I had cactus armor, I might have survived that. Make sure you get the strange plants whenever you can. If you turn them into dye and sell it, you get 2 gold per strange dye or strange plant dye. And of course, you can use the dye if you like to color your character in, but personally, I like to sell it. I might use a couple for this playthrough. Oh yes, I actually made the cactus helmet, and I made the superior cactus sword. And yeah, so I'm a lot better off now. I just need more cactus in order to get better armor, to be honest, to get the full set, because it would be nice to have more armor. And as you can see, I got some daybloom seeds, just collecting more gel, all this early game prep, and nothing too special, just collecting as many mushrooms as I can. Make sure you collect mushrooms and keep on to them. There are some items later on, some ingredients that you need to put together for potions. I always forget to keep them early game mushrooms, and then I'm like, ah, oh, shit, I need them. Take on one of the harder enemies now for the early game. Hopefully I don't die. Luckily I had a healing pot available. Collect more cactus. This is going to be very useful to get my armor up. And it's getting dark. I don't want you guys to not be able to see anything. That's why I keep playing at daytime. As you can see, as it gets very dark, it's very hard for you guys to see everything. And of course, torches. But torches are very limited. So I will be doing most of my early game in the daytime. And then when I have plenty of lighting, or plenty of preparation with lighting, I can start doing stuff at nighttime. We're now going to make our Eye of Cthulhu arena. The reason why I like to make an Eye of Cthulhu arena instead of just making an arena is because it's a nice handy place to fight if you ever get stuck near your home base fighting enemies, especially Goblin Army and Pirate Invasion. So first of all, we're going to build a row of platforms across. We have to get rid of that block at the top. As you can see, my house is doing pretty good. I hope you like it, guys. This is the NPC prison house, and I have a video, as I said, on another part of this channel. Make sure you check it out, and it'll show you how to make those and how to make those efficiently so that the NPCs cannot move, and you can use them at your will, like a vending machine. Some people actually call them NPC vending machines these days. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start building down with platforms, and the reason why I do that is so I can measure how many platforms there are. So for example, if I have 10 platforms, then I'm going to put the straight line across on number 5. Just keeps things symmetrical. It's a handy way to measure where you are. Do you guys use platforms, or do you make arenas for the early game bosses pretty much? I mean, I'm only going to be able to use this for the Eye of Cthulhu. I don't see myself being able to use this for Moon Lord unless I go to the very left and use it for Moon Lords. That's, I suppose I have it ready if I want to use it. But I might build a bigger one for Moon Lord, to be honest, and for all the other bosses that we're going to be fighting. Now we need to decide where the middle is, and we also need to make it so that I can jump in between the platforms, which is very important, especially early game, since you don't have a hook. If I get a hook, I probably won't need to have done this, but this is only a small arena for Eye of Cthulhu, so it's not too big. too big of a deal. And the best thing about this arena is I can put the nurse right there next to the arena so I can heal with the nurse as we play. Forget this is an expert playthrough, so it's a little bit more difficult than a normal playthrough, and you definitely need to have as much at your disposal as you can when you're fighting bosses, even Eye of Cthulhu. I'm going to be so geared for Eye of Cthulhu that it's going to even be funny. Because I do so much prep in this game. I prep the shit out of it, and then I don't die as much. So, get my glass ready. I'm going to make a little greenhouse. Make sure I put a bottle onto the crafting table. Oh, if anyone's wondering why I'm using auto pause, it's because I want to save as much daylight as possible for the videos. And when you pause time while you're looking for your inventory to see where things are, it's better and it saves a bit of daylight. It's like daylight savings time. So get some clay pots together, and now we're going to make a little greenhouse and start growing our own plants. This is one of my favorite things to do in the game. Of course, it's very easy to just make a line of glass and make a nice simple thing, but sometimes you can make like a big greenhouse and have it full of different plants that you need for potion making. And one of the things I love about Terraria is the potion making in this game. It has so much going on and so much that you could do in one little game. So I love Terraria so much when it comes to just the different things you can do. And the best thing about Terraria is you can destroy the glass and you get it back, unlike Minecraft, where if you destroy the glass, you lose the glass, which I've never been a fan of. So this is definitely something I enjoy over Minecraft. That's one of the reasons why I like Terraria more, not just because of the glass, but just how simple it is and how pretty much forgiving it is when it comes to putting down a bad block. Plus, a lot of the time you can hit the blocks less and still get all the stuff back. So, there we go. Done, and let's plant some daybloom seeds as well. Daybloom seeds are the most important seeds in the game, in my opinion. And of course, there's far rarer ones, but daybloom seeds are pretty much your iron skin potions in a nutshell. So you need as many dayblooms as you can get to get your daybloom seeds down. So guys, that is it for the first episode of our Terraria playthrough. It's been mostly preparation for the next playthrough or the next day, and hopefully we can make some progress. I'm going to pretty much come back with you in 2 weeks time to show you more Terraria, and as I go throughout the game I'm going to show you all the tips and tricks that I know about the game too, and even make some separate videos detailing what I'm actually doing. So thank you very much for hanging out with us today. I'll see you again in 2 weeks for more Terraria, and until then, ciao ciao.